Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode number 74, Falling into Fall Cards. As most of you may know, I've been on hiatus from crafting anything due to a flooded basement, and every single stick of furniture and everything else is crammed right now into my scrap room. I have been going through a severe withdrawal and needed to create something. So, being the ultimate container girl paid off for me. I was able to reach in and grab my fall container and anything that had to do with fall paper stack, pull them out, sit down, and create the cards that I'm sharing with you here. I have been crafting on my dining room table upstairs, and I was sitting there coloring these in using my distress inks, using my spell binders to punch out the background when I heard a gentle rain falling outside, and it sounded so lovely. And then I gasped because I realized I had left 3 of these outside in the box on the deck to dry. I had sprayed them with some of this spray fix just to hold the distress inks a bit, and was enjoying the rain so much that I forgot all about them. So in the lab today, I'd like to perform a little bit of resuscitation, if you will, to see if I can breathe some life back into these cards. There, pushing in on the top, is one of the original ones that did not get wet, thankfully. So as you can see, they turned out pretty well. I was pleased with them, but this one, it's code blue. Clear. Let's get to work on it and see if we can bring it back and restore it to some of its former glory. So I started out with this stamp from Inkadinkado. Cute little fall cornucopia. I used some Ancient Page coal black waterproof dye ink pad, an acrylic block, and my water pen. I used a variety of distress inks. This time I'm going to use some Ripe Persimmon, which I didn't use before, and initially I'd covered everything in a base coat of scattered straw. So almost everything you see started out yellow. I used my acrylic block to mix my ink paint, and I would rather mix too much paint of the right color and consistency than to have to go back and recreate because I didn't mix enough the first time. Learn from me in the lab today. It's better to have more than not enough. Biggest challenge here is to pull in the blue that's around and try to cover up some of the blurriness that managed to get through. I think the first time I used broken china and maybe tumbled glass, but this time I'm coming in with faded jeans because I need something just a little stronger and try not to turn that yellow into green. Adding just a little more vintage photo here to give that pumpkin just a bit more depth. And those are the 3 that I restored or resuscitated, and at the very top is the original one. Not my best, but also not my worst. Now, when I was in AC Moore, I picked up some of this beautiful, heavily glittered paper. It was on sale, 50% off, and thought this would look great with this Inkadinkado stamp. I thought this would be very striking. Problem, when it came time to cut into this beautiful glitter paper, I didn't want to do it. So what was my workaround? Okay, so I started out with my watercolor paper that I cut down, stamped, and colored in my image. I came back with the Nestability oval die, cut them out and embossed them, then came back with the lacy oval and just cut out some of the regular cardstock using that. This gave me this cute little border around it, but I wanted a little more bling to it. So I went into my Martha Stewart glitters, pulled out her glitter glue, and went all the way around the edge of this die cut piece. And voila, this is what I came up with. Make sure you cover the edge enough so that none of the plain cardstock will show through when you put your painted piece on top. And that's how they turned out. I was able to get a glitter look without having to cut into all of that luscious glitter paper. What am I saving it for? I don't know. Just didn't want to use it. Now for the leaves that are on the cards, I used this punch from EK Success, this Cuttlebug folder, and just used some more Distress inks to go around. On the bottom of this one, I put down some glue using my Scotch quick dry glue and dumped some glitter on top. Let that sit for a while so that it could set, and then I was able to decorate everything. So how did I assemble the final cards? Once I glittered all of my lacy ovals, and I didn't glitter all of them, I took my painted piece, adhered that using my ATG, and then I popped some of them up on foam dots. Not all of them are lifted off the card. And then I just laid them on top of the bases I assembled, and voila, there you are. I love how they turned out. I'm going to send these out as quickly as I can to my family and friends. And on the inside, I'm going to include this portrait of my son from last spring. I know I had lost them for a minute. But I do want to thank you for joining me in the lab today as we performed a little bit of delicate surgery. Please remember to check out my blog at inkallusions.blogspot.com. Until then.